So in 2012, a 19-year-old kid in his parents' garage built a virtual reality headset out of some spare parts and duct tape. 2 years later, Facebook bought it for $2 billion. That's billion with a B. And then he took that money and said, you know what? I'm going to build weapons for the US Department of War. Today, his company is worth more than $30 billion and is reshaping how America defends itself. This is Rick from Move America, and this is Mission Ready in 10 as part of the Pathways to Partnership podcast. Let's get after it.
Welcome to Pathways to Partnership, the podcast powered by Move America. Here, we explore the intersection of industry, government, and academia, where collaboration sparks innovation and strengthens our nation's defense industrial base. Each episode will bring you thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and real-world success stories that showcase the pathways to building a stronger, more innovative defense industry. And now, here's your host, Rick from Move America.
Welcome back. As I said, I'm Rick from Move America, because who else could I be? And this is the show where we tell you true stories about non-traditional businesses breaking into the defense industrial base, and then give you the playbook to do the same. Today, we're talking about Anduril Industries, and if you don't know that name yet, you will. Because Anduril is doing something that the traditional defense primes said couldn't be done. Building cutting-edge autonomous weapon systems faster, cheaper, and better than companies that have been doing it for decades. Look, they're not a small business in the traditional sense anymore. They've grown way past that. But they started as what we call a non-traditional business. A company from outside the defense world that looked at the way things were being done and said, you know what, we could do this better. And the Department of War agreed. So let's talk about how they did it and what you can learn from their playbook. All right, let me introduce you to Palmer Luckey. In 2012, Palmer was a teenager obsessed with virtual reality, not playing VR, but actually building it. He was literally assembling headsets in his parents' garage in Long Beach, California, using parts he scrounged from broken electronics. He created a prototype called the Oculus Rift, put it on Kickstarter, and raised $2.4 million in 30 days. 2 years later, Mark Zuckerberg, yes, that Mark Zuckerberg, showed up with a big old check for 2 billion smackaroos. Facebook bought Oculus, and Palmer Luckey became one of the youngest tech billionaires in history. Now, most people would take that money and buy an island, maybe a yacht, definitely some expensive watches or shoes. Not Palmer. In 2017, he founded Anduril Industries. He named it after Aragorn's sword from Lord of the Rings, which, yes, is exactly the kind of thing you'd expect from a guy who built VR headsets in his garage. His pitch was simple. The Department of War was spending billions on defense technology that took decades to develop and was obsolete by the time that it shipped. What if you could build defense systems the way Silicon Valley builds software? Fast, iterative, and AI-driven. So that's when he teamed up with Trey Stevens, a venture capitalist who served on the DoW transition team. They recruited engineers from the best tech companies in the country, and then they started building. Their first product was a surveillance tower called Sentry. It was autonomous, AI-powered, could detect and track threats without human intervention. They pitched it to Customs and Border Protection for border security. Within months, they had a pilot program. Within a year, they had real contracts. Today, Anduril builds counter-drone systems, autonomous aircraft, underwater vehicles, and an AI platform called Lattice that ties it all together. They've got contracts with the Army, Navy, Air Force, Special Operations Command, and allied nations. In 2025, they raised $2.5 billion at a $30.5 billion valuation. And they're building a massive manufacturing facility in Ohio called Arsenal One to produce autonomous weapons at scale. Not bad for a company that's only 8 years old. But here's what I want you to understand. Anduril didn't succeed because they were smarter than everyone else. They succeeded because they understood something critical. Relationships matter. Look, they brought in people who knew how the DOW worked. They partnered strategically. They built credibility before they asked for the big contracts. And that's what we're going to talk about next. Okay, so here's the thing about breaking into the defense industrial base as a non-traditional business. You've got great technology or great ideas. You've got passion. You've got a real solution to a real problem. And none of that actually matters if nobody knows who you are. The Department of War doesn't just hand out contracts to companies they've never heard of. And the big prime contractors, your Lockheeds, your Boeings, your Raytheons, guess what? They're not going to partner with you just because you sent a cold email. You need relationships. Now, I know that sounds intimidating. These are massive companies. They've got thousands of employees. How's a non-traditional business supposed to get their attention? Here's how. Step 1, understand what they need. Every prime contractor has small business goals that they're required to meet. They're actively looking for capable partners, but they're not just looking for anyone. They're looking for companies that can solve specific problems. So before you reach out, do your homework. What programs are they working on? What capabilities are they missing? What are their supply chain gaps? If you can position yourself as a solution to a problem they're actively trying to solve, you're not a cold call anymore. You're an answer. Step 2, start with their small business office. Every major prime contractor has a small business liaison office. That's literally their job, to find and qualify non-traditional businesses and small businesses for partnerships and subcontracts. Find them, reach out, introduce yourself, and ask what opportunities might be coming up in your capability area. These people want to hear from you. It's how they hit their goals. Step 3, show up where they show up. Industry events, conferences, matchmaking sessions. Look, I attended the National Small Business Conference in Nashville, and you know who was there? Boeing, Lockheed, L3Harris, GDIT, BAE Systems, Raytheon, and they weren't there for the barbecue, although the barbecue was good. They were there to find partners. When you shake someone's hand and have a real conversation, you become a person, not just another email in their inbox. Step 4, you want to make sure you're leveraging programs that are designed to connect you. I'm going to give you a good one, the DOW Mentor-Protege program. It exists specifically to help non-traditional businesses build relationships with prime contractors. So Move America is the MPP intermediary, which means that we help proteges and mentors and guide them through the process. We also host events through our Pathways to Partnership series, where non-traditional businesses can connect directly with primes in a virtual or in-person setting. So Anduril, remember them? They figured this out early. They didn't just build great technology. They built relationships with the people who could get that technology deployed. They brought in co-founders who understood the DOW. They partnered strategically, and you can do the exact same thing. You just need to know where to start. All right, it's homework time. Step 1, pick 3 prime contractors that work in your technology or service area. Go to their websites, find their small business office, write down that contact information. Step 2, research what programs they're working on. Look at recent contract awards. Understand where your capabilities might fit. Step 3, reach out. Introduce yourself. Ask for a conversation. Not a contract, just a conversation. Step 4, if you want help making those connections, contact Move America. We work directly with the DOW Mentor-Protege program as the intermediary. We can help you identify potential prime partners and help you position yourself for success. We also host virtual sessions and webinars and in-person sessions that give a lot of great information and have a lot of great networking opportunities. All you need to do is keep an eye on our LinkedIn page for more details. Look, Palmer Luckey went from building VR headsets in his garage to reshaping American defense. He did it by building great technology and building great relationships. The doors are wide open, wider than a Titan secondary on 3rd and Long. And Move America is here to help you walk through them. That's going to do it for this Mission Ready in 10. I'm Rick from Move America, and I want to thank you for spending 10 minutes or so with me instead of answering your emails. Trust me, that inbox will still be there. And unfortunately, it's still going to be full. We'll see you next time on Pathways to Partnership.
This podcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute legal, financial, or professional advice. The views expressed by the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily represent the views or positions of Whom America or its affiliates. Always consult with a qualified professional for advice specific to your circumstances. For more information about Move America and our mission to strengthen the defense industrial base through innovation and collaboration, visit us at www.moveamerica.org. Thank you for tuning in to Pathways to Partnership, powered by Move America. Until next time, stay inspired, stay innovative, and we'll speak with you soon.